I have serious back pain, but if I get radiofrequency ablations in 6 spots, 2 epidurals for leg numbness and trigger points, and they'll work great, will I disqualify myself from SSDI for stenosis? And I think she adds to that, I need a knee replacement. Should I do it before or after I qualify? And then should I consider paying my physical therapist to fill out a residual functional capacity with your initial app? When would SSD ask for that? So let's kind of break these down. I would say this. First of all, your onset date is relevant here. Realize that in order to qualify for disability, you have to have a condition that has lasted or is expected to last 12 months, 12 consecutive months. So if it's already been a year or close to it, and you go through these procedures and you're better, you could go for a closed period. So that's one option. The second thing I would tell you is you should do what you can do to make yourself better. Social Security, and I'm looking at what you had sent me a few days ago, or actually it was last September, I'm going to think of it. You've got, based on what you've told me there, I think you've got a good case. But I would also tell you that Social Security can be really unpredictable. And even the strongest cases sometimes get a really bad judge or a bad adjudicator. And so you never know what's going to happen. So I would say focus on what you can do to make yourself better and let the chips fall as they may with Social Security disability. I would not hold off on taking a procedure or hold off on medications or surgery or whatever you need to do because you're thinking it may script your Social Security case. Focus on getting yourself better. And if Social Security is in the, is part of that equation, great. If it's not, if you get yourself better within a year, and again, it's already been 6 months or so since you originally contacted me. So let's say you go through all these things. You have your radiofrequency ablations, epidurals. By the time you know whether it's going to work, it will have been a year anyway, depending on when, again, your onset date. So again, focus on getting yourself better. The last thing you want to do at a hearing is walk in there and for a judge to think that you've not done things that you could do to make yourself better. Now, I will tell you that under the law, deciding not to undergo procedures, surgery, even epidurals, anything with risk, they won't hold that against you. They realize that any procedure has inherent risks. So if you choose not to, they don't hold it against you. But if a judge senses that you're trying to game the system, they're not going to come out and say that in the decision, but that will work against you. So I would just tell you, focus on what you can do to get better. And again, if you have to make your case a closed period, you do that. If it doesn't work, and realize if you've got significant disc issues, my experience has been radiofrequency ablations, epidurals, they give you temporary relief. It's not going to solve the problem. If you have a bad disc issue, herniated disc or something like that, a radiofrequency ablation, it burns the nerve, then it regenerates. It's not going to solve the problem. So I don't think these things are more than temporary fixes. It may give you a little better quality of life for a period of time, but unlikely to resolve the problem completely. And the same thing with the knee replacement. Yes, before the knee replacement, you have more argument to say that you wouldn't be reliable at work, but knee replacement's a big deal, big surgery. It's going to take 6 months, 8 months to recover anyway. If it's something that your insurance will cover and your doctor feels you need to do it, listen to what the doctor says. Don't worry about the Social Security part of it. Again, in your case, you've got back issues in addition to knee issues. So again, don't hold off on that. And as far as the physical residual functional capacity exam, and what she's talking about here is that many physical therapists will do a formal functional capacity assessment. I had a hearing today, and my client had a physical therapist do a functional capacity assessment. The conclusion was that she was limited to less than sedentary in terms of her functional capacity, which means that, that would, most judges would say, that's a winning argument. You can't do even a simple sit-down job. So if you can get one of those, the sooner you can get it, and you submit it with your application, submit it with the recon. As soon as you've got it, get it submitted. But that's not a bad idea. Now, realize on the flip side is, if you go through that and you have an evaluation and it comes back and it says you can do medium work or it's evidence of malingering, bad stuff, you got to still submit it. You can't leave it off your Social Security file. So, if you decide to go that route, you're going to have to submit it because it exists. Social Security doesn't let you selectively, leave stuff out. But yeah, I think if you can get that and it's supportive, it can be very, very powerful, very strong for you. So yeah, I think I wouldn't hold off on treatment. And if you can get a functional capacity evaluation, a formal one, that carries a lot of weight with most judges and with Social Security. So I think that would be helpful. And in fact, that might even increase the chances, not might, it likely would increase the chances of an early approval as well. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.